make a brand new start right here, right now. Gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now believe, and it's done to me as I believe right here, right now, where I am. All right, get up, good. Right here, right now. Gonna make a brand new start right here, right now. Gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now believe that it's done to me. Right here, right now, gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now see unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Okay, let me hear you sing it. Here we go. Right here, right now. Right here, right now, gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I know, unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Right here, right now, where I am. Last time. Here, right now, where I am. All right. For the second time, amazing. I think we have Reverend Jack.
Okay, good morning. We're going to try this one more time and just affirm that the electronic negative energy has left the space. Welcome to a new world. Welcome to having to take a look at what works and what doesn't work. That's a part of what we're up to. And I think that there's an opportunity to say no when change happens, to say no to something being different, saying no to technology, saying no that this won't work. And even when that happens, we want to remind ourselves of our spiritual calling to do what we talked about in our class this morning. Let's talk science of mind. When, Dale came up with this wonderful metaphor, the 3-finger salute: Control, Alt, Delete. And so sometimes in life, we are called to hit Control, Alt, Delete, and to start over. So even if you're only hearing the audio, be open to receiving whatever message is in that for you right now. And as they work out the gremlins for the technology, know that if you hear the sound of my voice, Spirit is connecting with you today. So as we get grounded in this service, we get grounded in this opportunity to be together in community. Take a moment and look about the room. Look about the room. Look at the wonderful gathering of people that came together this morning to be with you, to be in community with you. Tap into their energy. Tap into that knowingness that allows you to look at somebody and just smile at them. Just say thank you for showing up. There are 1,000 other things we could have been doing this morning, but we chose to put our spiritual journey first. to come together to be inspired by music, to come together to be inspired by one another's laughter, to come to be inspired by just how good it feels to see and be seen. That's enough. That's enough for right now in this moment and now. And so as we embrace that, we just surrender into this moment of knowing that it's a new day, a new awareness, a new calling to pay attention. So that's what we're about. I talked a little bit last week about we are looking at what is known as liberation theology or liberation spirituality. We put a new word on the thing, but the thing has really never changed. It's really our outlook on life. We come together because we are affiliated with this entity known as the Centers for Spiritual Living, which has the audacious desire to be about the work of creating a world that works for all. And oftentimes we have to think about, well, what is mine to do with that? And I want to invite us on this day, on this traditional Palm Sunday, on this time of Passover, that we really kind of take a look and get grounded in what is ahead for many of the folks that we share this planet with on the week ahead. And to be prepared for what might come our way and how we might share what it is that we share that we are up to. Within the Centers for Spiritual Living, we look at this time, this season, to be what many might call our spring awakening into our spiritual journey and what we are going to do with the time ahead. As we walk through this time of year, we are aware of the beauty of the blossoms on the orange trees and of the poppies and of the almond trees and all that nature is showing us right here, right now. It's a new day. It's a new day. And you're reminded that each spring there is this newness, this is this rebirth, this is this reset, that there is this time that despite what the winter may have manifested, the earth is showing us the magnificence of a new day. The almond trees are going to bloom regardless of what's happening in the world. The animals on the planet are going to frolic and do what they do regardless of what's going on in the world. What is that teaching us? What is that teaching us? That even in times like this, we anticipate the rebirth. We anticipate the new opportunities that are down the road and around the next curve. We have a wonderful tool that we use in the teaching of this faith, this philosophy, this way of living called fear to faith. And it is taking whatever it is that scares us and doing whatever is required to turn that into faith. Now, I've had people come up to me and say, Reverend Jack, I'm not big on this whole faith thing. And I remind them that, well, you may say that, but I'm going to offer an idea for you to consider. Every time you go to the Bay Area and you get on this underground train called BART, and you go underneath the San Francisco Bay in a metal tube surrounded by electrical wires, and you shoot yourself from Oakland to San Francisco under the water, you are demonstrating faith that you are going to get to the other side. The same thing is true when you get on an airplane and you fly across the country. You are executing your belief and a faith that you are going to get there. Now, you may rationalize and say, well, it's based on science, and all that is fine. But it is the power that is greater than yourself that you are tapping into, and you are transmuting your fear into faith. Because we all have those relatives. We all know those people that would never get on an airplane no matter what. There are other people that will never ride as a passenger in a car with somebody else. If they're not driving, they do it. But there are times even those folks will surrender because there's something more important going on that they need to do, that they are going to risk it, take the opportunity to turn that fear into faith that they are going to get to the other side. Once we do that, once we engage that idea that we can turn fear into faith, then we can hold the proper vision for what's possible, what's down the road, what can be next, what we can do in our life, because we're kind of secure in our journey. We put our practices into place that put us back on track if we need to. And sometimes we can tap into a little deeper understanding of how the world got to be the way that it is right now. And there's no better example than this season that we are in right now. And so much of what we do today is based on ancient times and ancient interpretations. Now, I think as a well-rounded spiritual being that is seeking to understand how the world got to be the way it is, we get to ask questions. We get to raise our hand and say, but excuse me, this makes no sense to me. Explain it to me. I often use that example of when I was in Sunday school as a little child, and they told us that all of us are descendants of Adam and Eve, and I was the little kid in the back that raised the hand and said, but Adam and Eve had 2 sons. How is that possible? And I was told to stop interrupting. Likewise, when it came time for telling of the Easter story in Sunday school, we were taught that this Thursday that's coming up this week is known as Maundy Thursday. Well, Maundy Thursday in most traditional Christian denominations is a sad day. In fact, if you're a minister, you're told in your sanctuary to remove every living plant, anything that looks like color, get it out of the sanctuary. Drape the altar, drape everything in black, because it's a sad and remorseful day, because it symbolizes the day that the master teacher, Yeshua, whom the world came to call Jesus, went to the garden and wept about what was ahead and what he had to do. And we are to be with that. And then on Friday, Good Friday, at noon, we're to stop what it is that we're doing and hear the clanging of the nails going into the cross to understand the sacrifice that the master teacher Yeshua had to endure in the crucifixion. And then on Sunday, Easter Sunday, the day that the stone was pulled away and he was first revealed himself to Mary Magdalene, and it was the idea of the rebirth and the renewal. And then the teacher said, and on the 3rd day, Jesus rose. And again, I'm the little kid in the back waving my hand going, I have 2 questions. Okay. We stopped at noon on Friday to symbolize that, but shouldn't we have stopped at noon when it was in noon in Jerusalem? Our noon wouldn't be that noon. So how does that work? Jack, stop interrupting. Don't be asking those questions. Okay, one last question. You say that Jesus, after the after he was taken down from the cross, he was entombed for 3 days and 3 nights. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday would have only been 2 nights. Jack, stop asking those questions. Well, the good news is I didn't stop asking the question. I didn't stop asking. I just kind of went, oh, okay. If you tell me to stop asking questions, it really just means you don't have the answers. So I've got to go get the answers somewhere else. Now, I can still be inspired and enriched by the story, but I was that student that wanted to know just a little bit more. Let me understand this conundrum of why we are celebrating Easter and my best friend that is Jewish is celebrating Passover. And when I look at what we do in the Christian church is taking communion, that looks an awful lot like what they're doing for Passover. I wonder what that is about. And I wanted to explore more. Now, none of it invalidates the gift and the lesson of what is being taught in this opportunity, but it's like, where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? And so much of what happened in the early days of Christianity, Rome and the Roman Empire and the Pope and the Catholic Church made the decision that they are not going to stop these pagans from celebrating the things that they celebrate, such as the spring solstice. Okay, if they're going to do that, then we're going to name that Easter, and we're going to make that Easter, and we're going to tell this story then and say it's the same thing, because the people are going to be celebrating anyway, and so we're going to do it. And it's like, oh, okay, I see that. Now, again, it doesn't negate anything that happens during that window of time in any of the faiths. We can look at what inspires us about it. One of the things that I love about the Jewish tradition is when you're sitting down for the dinner, they go over and open the door. And they do that as a reminder. It's an opportunity. The door is always open. Okay, I can incorporate that. Keeps me to remember to always have an open mind. But if you look at even the traditional story of Passover, why is it called Palm Sunday? What was that about? The master teacher, Yeshua, was returning for Passover, as all Jews were taught to do in that time. But if you notice what you notice, you will see that as he entered the gates of Jerusalem, it was a protest. Just like Hands Off America a couple of weeks. It was a protest. Well, what were we protesting? Well, the Romans did not like the idea that the Jews were having this Passover and lifting up a deity greater than the Romans. And so the Romans decided that the highest assaulted leader of the movement, the king, would enter Jerusalem at the conclusion of Passover, come in through the western gate, just to remind folks, I'm the king, not this king y'all talking about. So, how did the master teacher Yeshua illustrate that, teach that? When the master teacher returned for Passover. He came in on the back of a donkey to emulate the poverty, the lower economic sect of people. They took the palm leaves and made a street because he came in the eastern gate, not the western gate like the Roman leader came in. All with the intention to teach it is about the people. It is about the least of thee that is lifted up and exalted. So I can take from that, I can go, yes, that works for me. I understand that. Yay. I could believe, and I could even translate it. And many of us have heard this in our seeking our spiritual journey and traveling our hero's journey. If the master teacher Yeshua were to come back today, where would he be showing up? Would he be on the throne next to the Pope? No, probably not. Many of us would believe he would be in the streets, doing the work, doing what he taught in Matthew 25. He would be visiting the sick. He would be visiting those that are incarcerated. He would be feeding the hungry. He would be clothing those that are unclothed. That's what the master teacher would be doing. And so therefore we know that even in a time like this, how can we learn more about doing what was demonstrated to us to do? Dr. Ernest Holmes reminds us that when we are often asked about our untraditional way of traveling the spiritual journey, teaches others to say, you know, the master teacher, Yeshua, whom the world came to call Jesus, was not the great exception. He was the great demonstration. In other words, he walked the talk. He walked the talk. And he was there to illustrate that that is what each and every one of us are called to do. I mentioned it last week, and I want to reinforce it because this is kind of the theme for this liberation theology, this liberation spirituality that we're a part of. Answering the call, knowing your purpose in life is not about what it does for you. It is what it does for those around you. You know, we have been called to be here for a time like this. If we look about the world and if we put ourselves underneath that banner of we can believe in a world that works for all, we need to put some words to that. We need to put some attributes to that. What would that look like? Well, I love to emulate our friends at Unity when they say, in the essentials, unity, and all else, robust and healthy discussion. We can find common ground. We can find the things that unite us as a people. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's art. Maybe it's philosophy. Maybe it's our willingness to dig a little deeper into understanding how the world got to be the way that it is. Not to wag a finger at anyone. We were not born, we were not called to come here and put in the correction. Not what it is. We are called to understand. We are called to share what we see. We are called to share what our years on this planet has shown us. That's the whole purpose of one's hero's journey. To take a look at what we have learned thus far and to turn it around and teach someone else, to share it with someone else. And we each have a unique way of doing that. Some of us will sing the song. Some of us will write the story. Others will tell the story. Others will lift someone up just by the act of being with them. We are called to be in touch with that. So as we approach this high, holy season for many on the planet, we can look at them and say, we see you, we celebrate you, and we lift up ourselves in this. We find the common ground. We can all look outside and see the poppies and the daffodils in bloom. We can all see the signs of a wonderful new day is being birthed, just as simultaneously and at the same time, south of the equator, people are looking at the magnificence of the harvest and of fall approaching. All of that can happen at the same time. So if the universe is showing us the two very different ends of the spectrum can all happen at the same time on this planet that we are all on, then we can entertain multiple understanding of one another's spiritual journey. Find the common ground, lift it up, celebrate it, and rejoice in this new day that is unfolding before us. So I leave you with this. You are being nudged. You are maybe even being tickled right now to see life in a new way. And as you move through this week, have an understanding that it is a moment of transformation. It's almost as if all the people on the planet are rushing to the train station, all about to board on a different train to take them in a different direction, but we are all utilizing the same mechanisms, some of the same understanding in order to get from where we are to where we're going. And so with that, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't wait to be with you next Sunday in person when we celebrate Easter in a musical, magical way. So much blessings. I turn it back over for what's next, and I'll see you on the other side.
Wanted to make it extra dramatic.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There's only love.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. We're going to go into our, I always want to call it gracious giving, but I'm sorry, that's not what we call it here. Conscious giving. So, do I have two ushers available today? You come forward. Good morning. So, we're going to read our prosperity prayer. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever manifesting itself in my affairs. I am keeping my whole mind and thought and expectation open to a new experience, to happier events, to a more complete self expression. Everything that belongs to spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. I identify with success and I prosper in everything I do. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibility. And so it is. So we appreciate all of your generosity. We bless these gifts and we give thanks for the manifestation that they will do in the world. And so it is.
Thank you, Gwen. I so appreciate you. And as we come together to offer up our closing and our benediction, I want to invite us just to take a moment to be in gratitude. And I hope that as you move about the room, either in the sanctuary or you move about the room in your home, that you take a moment to say to someone else, thank you for being here today. Thank you for showing up. I see you. I appreciate you. I am so thankful for you. I am also, as we come together, knowing that there is one power and one God and one universe, that we are reminded that each and every person within the sound of my voice is connected to that power that is greater than ourselves. That all we need do is tap into it, to fine tune that frequency, to get us right where we want to be. And so today I'm thankful for the reminder of that from our musical ministry, the guest artists that sang such lovely notes, to the musicians that played more keys on the piano that were not even there. It is amazing. To Sima and Stan and Donna and Gwen and everyone else that had a hand in making and executing today's service, I say thank you. I so appreciate you and your willingness to show up and say, you can count on me. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I say thank you for the week ahead, because I know that we are loved up, we are supported, we are ready for what is to come. We are ready for what is down the road or around the next curve. We say in the most spiritual way possible, bring it. I'm ready for it. Bring it. Why? Because I know that peace is an inside job, manifesting from within to the without. And I know that peace begins with me. And so, as we gather in our circle to embrace the song that inspires us, we say, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.